Welcome to Dejobnik, your command post for clarity and perspective.
For more on the situation, I spoke to Bonnie Glick, a former Deputy Administrator of the United States Agency for International Development under the Donald Trump administration. They've terminated those contracts before the investigation was even completed. Is that enough action in your view?
Oh, that's not enough action at all. UNRWA, as Chris said, has as its mandate, and as you laid out, education, hospitals, and health care. But what has been uncovered through the last 113 days since October 7th is a vast system of tunnels that Hamas has built using assistance dollars that have come from donors, including through UNRWA, to build this hundreds and hundreds of miles long tunnel system that they are holding hostages in and that they're using for their command and control.
UNRWA does deny that.
Yes, UNRWA denies that.
Can I read you other statements by UNRWA in reaction to what's happened? Philippe Lazzarini said any UNRWA employee who was involved in acts of terror will be held accountable, including through criminal prosecution. UNRWA reiterates its condemnation in the strongest possible terms of the abhorrent attacks on October the 7th, and he went on to demand the release of hostages. Do you believe those statements?
I don't believe the statements.
So you think that he's lying?
No, I think that he is disingenuous. I think that it has taken him until the moment of having his funding cut off for him to come out and condemn the attacks on October 7th, and for him to say that we will investigate what have been allegations for years and years against UNRWA and its operations.
UNRWA has never shown any support for the attacks of October the 7th.
Not publicly yet. On Tuesday of this week, there will be a hearing in Congress where the UN Watch is being called as a witness to testify under oath that 3,000 named employees of UNRWA in a Telegram message system, all named, all with their employee ID numbers all laid out, have been cheering the efforts of Hamas, cheered and publicly supported the October 7th massacres.
Now, UNRWA denies all of these accusations. They've also written letters to the State Department, to Congress, saying they have safeguards in place to protect against some of the things that you've just laid out, some of these accusations against them. It's really important to be clear about that. It's also worth saying that we're talking about a few employees here. Those are the ones that evidence was brought forward from Israel, and yet they have 13,000 employees in Gaza. So should the whole organization be tarnished in that way by these few employees?
Look, it is under the Trump administration, we cut all aid to UNRWA. So this isn't something that has never happened before in the history of time. We cut all aid because it is actually illegal for the United States to fund UNRWA because the Palestinians support a program of pay to slay, where terrorists who have killed Israelis and other civilians are paid lifetime salaries while they're in prison, or their families are paid annuities in perpetuity. In March 2018, the U.S. Congress passed the Taylor Force Act in a bipartisan manner, which makes it illegal for the United States to fund.
Can I just say the Biden administration obviously didn't agree with that assessment. That's why they started funding UNRWA again. So I also really want to get to this point, which is, say, taking everything that you've said into account as well as these denials, it is extremely difficult to give this assistance to Palestinians in Gaza. They're facing a very serious food crisis. The war has meant there are many who have no shelter, no food, no medical assistance. Who is going to give that support if it isn't UNRWA?
This is a very simple question to answer. All of this can be ended when Hamas surrenders and every single hostage is released.
So should innocent Palestinians continue to suffer because of this? There should be no humanitarian aid?
There are 6 Americans being held hostage currently in Gaza by Hamas. Hamas could be turned over by Gazan civilians. and Hamas leaders can surrender, put down their arms, and release all of the hostages. Then the situation changes radically. But until that moment, there can't be any changes.
Sorry for interrupting. We're just running out of time. But the ICJ has ordered Israel to provide more humanitarian assistance to the Palestinians in Gaza, and they have 1 month to report back. You think Israel should ignore that order? Palestinians shouldn't receive not only additional humanitarian aid, but whatever assistance they were getting from UNRWA up until now?
The International Court of Justice has proven that it is a kangaroo court, that it even took up the issue that South Africa presented to it of this being an Israeli genocide. And at the end of the day, the genocide and the genocidal intent comes from Hamas. And they have stated explicitly, including all of their leaders, that this will continue. October 7th was a start. It will go on and on and on. But
you don't think there should be any differentiation between the civilian lives because Kamala Harris has said too many innocent Palestinians have been killed in this conflict. You disagree? And can I just add, 100 UN workers have also been killed, more than 100, more than in any other conflict.
Tell me this. Did Israel ask to be attacked on October 7th? The answer to that is no. The responsibility of this lies 100% with Hamas, including any pain and suffering that is befalling the Palestinian people in Gaza. 100% of that responsibility, as the White House has said, resides with Hamas.
All right, Bonnie Glick, thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it.
Don't forget to like, share, and hit subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Until next time, stay informed and inspired. This is Dejobnik signing off.